What's going on, everybody? My name is Tomas. I'm out here barefoot shooting by myself with an adapter on the GH4. How am I going about keeping myself in focus? Let's get into this video. And this is the DEC wireless remote adapter by Aputure. So what does this do? Well, it's a wireless remote adapter for Micro Four Thirds camera mounts that you adapt Canon EF or EFS lenses to. So you can utilize this adapter to start and stop recording, which is a nice feature. And then also you can control the iris and focal length. So you can do all that type of stuff wirelessly. And this was of high interest to me. Packaging presentation off the bat is far superior to anything that I've experienced. I paid $389 US for this. I will leave a link in the description of the video if you're interested in pricing this out for yourself. This is a really nice case. The foam here is very dense. Right off the bat, you get some documentation on what this device is for and how to attach it and, you know, instructions, stuff like that. We'll start off with the clamp, which is a really wide, quick adaptation type clamp. It features a circular type mount, so you can mount the actual remote to, say, a shoulder rig or a cage, for example. So it tightens and it goes in any direction. While I have the wireless remote out, it feels really nice in the hand, has a really slippery grip, I will say. So that may be a potential problem if you're holding it via this only. It could be a slippery slope here by you dropping your equipment or whatnot. They give you a micro USB cable, which is going to be utilized for charging this and charging your remote adapter. Here is a cable that you're going to utilize for remote connection. So to make use of the start, stop, record button, you're going to attach your lens adapter to your camera via this remote cable. I read about this little tiny adapter or extension. They spent so much money in packaging this product that they couldn't give you a larger, more substantial extender. We'll talk about this here in a moment. And finally, the actual adapter itself. You cannot mount to it. That's something that I was highly interested in and I couldn't find online. So there's nothing that you can mount onto this because it's housing a lithium-ion battery within it. So here's the actual adapter itself. You can see that all of the electronic connections and everything. There is no glass here, so it's not a focal reducer. It's just a straight-up adapter. So you will have to keep in mind that all of the crop factors on the Micro Four Thirds systems still apply here because you're not emulating Super 35 like you would on a Metabones, for example. Here you can see the on and off switch and the charge and remote control input. I believe you can utilize this while you charge it. You can connect it to a power bank and still continue to utilize it. So if you're running short on power or whatnot, throw on a power bank and then you're good to go. The remote itself, as you can see, there's a little display here. I didn't cover the display on these two displays will sync up on the two. So this is on the actual adapter itself. Here is the start and stop button. This is how you'll wirelessly focus utilizing this adapter, this slide. It's really intuitive. A and B, so you can set focal lengths or limiters. It's somewhat of a limiter. You can lock your iris. Here's the charging port. It sets 5 volts. So here is the problem child, this little extension. Let's go ahead and put it on the GH4 right now. Going to connect this adapter. And here is the problem. That is not enough for me to feel safe of flying this or attaching it to anything. I highly recommend against this, and then I'm going to talk about some solutions. The very first solution I have for you is the fancier 717 Alpha. And the reason why this is a solution for you is because of the quick plate. So the quick plate will allow me to attach to the bottom of the GH4 in said fashion, and it'll still allow me to mount, for example. You'll be able to mount the GH4 with the DEC as such, and you can remove and replace on the fancier. So that's one solution. Now the second solution is a VF4 Plus viewfinder base plate is really thick. The bad thing about this is that there's not enough space between the GH4 and the adapter, so I can't mount this way. I can most definitely throw it on here backwards like this. The caveat to that is that you'll have to remove this handle from this system, and the reason why I remove that handle is because it blocks the battery port on the GH4 and you may have to swap it out or whatnot. This will allow you enough space and and have a lot more trust in the system that's attached to it. The good thing about this base plate is that it has a 3/8 and a 1/4-20 right there, so I can just take a Manfrotto plate, 501 or 501 PL, and attach it. The good thing about this is that you just attach the 501 plate and you got a really solid system. The biggest flaw about the DEC is this design flaw, in my opinion. They need to figure out a way to maybe wrap this around instead, because there's a lot of space here that you can implement the battery in this way, or put the display there or something. It needs a little revision, so maybe version 2 will see an improvement. Initial impressions of the unboxing, I'm really happy with it. And you just remove the lens by clicking this little button back, and you can remove the lens. I don't want to do that right now because I want to power this thing on and get to shooting. So let's hop into some demo footage and we'll go from there. Here I've asked my subject to walk back and forth from this setup, so we're going to go ahead and just get right into this to see how applicable it could be when it comes to utilizing this system wirelessly. Because I'm not even close to the camera, I'm way out of the scene here, and I'm just asking my subject to walk back and forth. Here's the practicality of this system. Now I'm not checking these shots, so I'm just seeing how they're going to turn out in post. This has been a really quick video on the Aputure DEC, and I wanted to make it so that way because there are some quirks to this system that, you know, novice individuals like myself should consider. There's a learning curve to it that is not communicated in some of the videos that I've seen. And again, the concept of this actual device is fantastic. I mean, it opens up a world of being able to shoot by yourself, like I'm doing so now. And it also opens up the world of lenses to Micro Four Thirds systems, and they also make a Sony mount as well. But there are limitations to it. It's just an adapter, so you have to consider the crop factor when it comes to your camera, in addition to not being able to mount to your fluid head systems because of the design of the actual adapter. So when it comes to that, I think it's a flaw in the system, and with a little revision, it could be a lot better. Outside of that, everybody, I think this is something that I'm not gonna keep within my repertoire of tools for use on my channel because there's a lot of bugs within the system. I am gonna try the revision. I would love to see a speed booster version of this, an actual focal reducer. I'm kind of extending this ending part because I wanna make sure that I get everything encompassed within this video for you guys to make an educated decision. Is it something you will use in your system? I don't know. Again, if you're a novice like me, it may or may not improve your actual production. In my case, it's not. It's making it more difficult. So that about does it for me in this one, everybody. If you liked this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comment section down below what it is that I can do to improve. In addition to that, feel free to check out my channel if this is the first video you're seeing of mine. And if you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Take care.